Let me start the recording on my side. I usually have this all set up, but I guess I tested it and didn't. Okay, I'm good.
All right, let's see. This is Erica Dyer, episode 53. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, this is Erica Dyer with Incoherent Ramblings of a Crazy Bitch. And my producer, Nick, who is getting fit and fabulous, going to be looking for that wife. What's going on in that world, Nick?
Oh God. Things have been happening in that world, but
Really?
yeah. Well, not okay. They've just been happening, not in a positive or negative way. They've just been happening.
Oh.
Anyways, you've been on a trip. You've been studying to be a comedian and going through the boot camp. Let's talk about that.
Oh, okay. So I won't comment on how you tried to flip that off of you back to me.
Well, the
That was
podcast
clever.
podcast has your name on it, not mine. So
That was clever. That was clever.
I'm world class for a reason.
So yes, I did just get back from LA. As we talked about last time, I was going out there for that comedy boot camp. Let me pull up the name of it again here. I should be more comedy fantasy camp.
Gotcha.
Out in LA with Adam Carolla and Jay Leno. They ended up having 80 plus, I think maybe 83 is what I heard, might have been 80 people that had signed up. And if you think that each person, the minimum they would have paid was like $3,500, plus there's these add-ons, plus you got your hotel rooms.
And your flights from wherever you are and everything.
And your flights from wherever you're coming. They made a killing.
Jeez, that's wild.
Yep.
So how was it? Did you learn anything?
Well,
did they help you out with stuff? What was the what went down?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna start from the very beginning, me
Okay.
flying in. Okay. So I flew there no problem. I made arrangements with my kids, take care of the cats. I got all these damn cats. And then I packed my bags and I flew out and everything was great. And dude, I had it all planned like this was going to be my weekend, because I'll be 50 next month. And I'm like, I'm going to be in LA. It's going to be my weekend. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to be around all these people. I'm going to party all fucking weekend. That's honestly what I planned on doing, was partying all weekend. And I do peanut. I got out there, checked into my hotel room. First thing, when I got off the plane, I'm tired, right? Because flying from the east to the west, even though you're supposed to be, gaining time, you get there earlier. It's still a time difference and it fucks with you. And I got there, it was about 10:30 West Coast time. So in my time zone, it's 1:00. I think yours too. So it's 1:00. So I'm tired. I'm fucking old, man. I'm used to going to bed at 9. I get up at like 4 a.m. So I'm tired as hell. So I get off the plane, get my luggage. The flight was fine. Get my luggage. And I'm walking outside. I'm like, okay, now what's the best way to get to the Hollywood Roosevelt? Because I'd never been there. I'm like, well, they said they got this bus, or I could get a taxi. The Hollywood Roosevelt had told me that I guess Uber is not allowed in some certain area there at LAX anymore. So they said that taxi'd probably be best. And I was like, all right, fine. So I'm walking out trying to find this taxi stand. And they're usually marked. And there's this guy standing there and he has his phone up and it says taxi, and he's just standing there. And I'm like, oh, okay, this must be guiding me to the stand. So I go up with my 2 bags of luggage and my backpack. And I look like I do now, because this is what I look like, 90% of the time. And I said, I need a taxi. He's like, oh, okay. Well, he had a gold grill on, um, cornrows, looked like somebody from the 70s, which is a little bit of an odd look for a white guy, having the grill. I mean, dude was like a 65-year-old white guy with this gold grill, all these rings,
Oh my God.
cornrows. But I'm like, hey, I'm in LA.
It's fun. Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
judge nobody,
It's LA.
whatever, it's LA. Oh, you got a car. So he put his phone in his pocket, and it was right that moment right there. I was like, huh, I don't think he's an actual taxi driver. So he goes, well, I'll help you with your luggage. So we're taking the luggage. And I said, oh, do you drive for Uber also? Because I thought, well, maybe that's how he was getting around it, right? He was gonna charge me as an Uber. And he said, oh no, I never drive for them. And I said, okay. So we're getting ready to walk across the street, and he's walking me to the parking garage. And so I go,
Oh my God.
you're not going to kill me, are you? I mean, I'm just saying, because I've already realized you're not a legitimate taxi driver. And he goes, oh, I am. I'll get you where you need to go. And I'm like, okay. I don't know if it's the Midwest in me, if I'm just tired, or I just like life on the wild side. Because I walked to the garage with this guy, and he walks me up to this fucking what the hell was it? Old ass Lincoln Town car, old as fuck. And he had to move shit in the trunk to put my bags in there.
Oh my God.
But I did make sure there was a door handle on the inside of the door before I shut it.
That's good. That's
So I did do that.
Oh jeez.
And we got in, and we started driving out. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This could be fun. Hey, who am I if the guy needs, because he said it was going to be $75. I'm like, you know what? Who am I? The guy needs some money. I'll give him some money if I can drop me off at the Roosevelt. Well, what's an Uber anyways, right? And so we get up to leave the parking garage, and he's at one of those little pay things, and he's trying to find where to put his money in because he has cash. And he couldn't figure it out, so he hit the button. Lady comes over, she goes, oh, you got to use a card. And he goes to me, he goes, you got a debit card or a credit card?
Oh my God.
And I'm like, yeah, here you go. Oh, sure, here you go.
Oh,
so I paid to leave the parking garage, and I'm still thinking it's fine, right? It's fine. Like nobody gets murdered in LA or anything. It's fine.
Oh jeez.
Just some random. I'm like, I'm too old to fucking kill, man. And he got my luggage. Why would he? And I thought, we parked in the parking garage. They would have seen me walk to him. I mean, they may not find me alive, but they'll find him because we'd all be on camera that I left with this dude and the lady that came up to help with leave the parking lot. She saw, I'm like, it's fine, I suppose. And we driving away. Well, he's a talker, definitely talker. Tell me all the different athletes and movie stars and people that he's drove for. He had a poster with all their names and like his picture. I'm gonna guess maybe 20-30 years ago he was probably somebody.
Yeah.
He said that he wrote a screenplay once, so I'm gonna guess he was, had a good time in LA. And so I'm like, okay, and I said, yeah, I'm usually, when I come here, I come and do what I need to do, and then I leave. I don't explore. And I made a comment. I said, yeah, I haven't even seen the Hollywood sign. And he's like, oh, well, I can take you. It's right down here. It's not too far out of the way. And I'm like, no, no, no. Let's
Oh
just
my God.
let's just stay on the path.
Yeah,
We're
stay on the
not going to
path,
make
buddy.
any, we're not going to make any side trips.
Yeah.
So everything's fine. I mean, everything was kosher until we hit Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh God.
Because when we hit, and it wasn't even that bad, but it was just like the whole tone changed. And I don't know how I bring this out in people. Maybe it's because I laugh at everything, or I don't get shocked, or I don't make a big deal of it. It's like people, anybody, they talk to me about fucking everything, man. And so so we get on Hollywood Boulevard and he points out this building and he says, you see that church? And I said, yeah. He goes, well, that used to be a strip club. When I got my first job, my boss had taken me there. And yeah, that's a strip club. And I'm like, ah, ha, ha. And then he started pointing out, yeah, and that's, that was a strip club, or this was this, and that's a sex toy store, and this is this. And so and so used to take their mistress there. I guess I did open it up because then I made the comment stupidly. I said, because I always try to joke, try. And I said, yep, my son told me I was too old to be the mistress, but too young to be the first wife, or something like that. And he turned around and looked at me and he's like, oh, your son doesn't know what he's talking about. I'd take you and I'd bend you over and pound you all night. And I'm like,
Oh my God.
how far are we from this goddamn hotel? And I'm like, oh, huh, thanks. And, I mean, what do I say? So as we're driving them, again, we're on Hollywood Boulevard, we're seeing all kinds of stores. And he's like, yeah, we can stop there and get you some fishnet stockings. And I'm just like, just give me to my hotel. But I knew we were headed that way because, we were on Hollywood Boulevard. So it's not like he detoured at all. He did not
Yeah, he didn't try
take
to take
me.
you to San Diego or something.
Yeah, no, he legit took me to where I needed to go, gave me his business card, said if you need a ride back to the airport, here's my number. Other than that last 5 minutes, it could have been any other driver. But yeah, I'm still, then once I made it to the hotel, I'm like, why the fuck did you get in that guy's car? I'm like, Erica, he could have just robbed you, let alone killed you. He could have just robbed you.
Yeah. You need to update your Lyft and Uber app so you have both of them. Make sure they have your
I have
picture, your
them.
address, your DNA
I just
sample,
didn't feel
and
like
just like
waiting.
your retina scan, just in case anything happens. Okay.
Yeah, I have
Go.
both Uber and Lyft. I
Okay.
don't know why I went up to some rando with dreadlocks and a grill, some 65-year-old white guy. I have no idea, man. It must be that Midwesterner in me. Oh, it'll be fine. He'll get
Yeah,
me to where I
exactly.
need to
Yeah.
go. But
Yeah.
see, he did. So then that makes me more trusting. See, you can trust people.
Yeah, you can trust people until you can't, and then something happens, and
Oh God.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, but yeah, so I get to the hotel. Um, this is a historic hotel, the Hollywood Roosevelt. I get there finally at midnight. By the time, I got off the plane, got the luggage, went through the drive, got there, it's like almost midnight. And the girl at the front desk, she's like, little petite thing. She's like, oh, we upgraded you to the garden suite. And I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. I don't give a shit. I'm not.
Yeah, you're too tired for this. It's like, yeah, just give me the key. Give me
Yeah,
the key. Tell me where it is.
Yeah, and I said, she gave me the key, and I go, okay, so which elevator do I take? And she goes, oh, there are no elevators. And she had said this was on the second floor. Oh, there are no elevators. I said, there's no elevators? And she goes, no, but I can take your bags. Bitch, you are taking my bags. I mean, this girl, I was tired, man. She was worn out too. She had to take them up like 5 steps, and then we had to walk down a couple hallways, and then it was down by the pool, and then she had to walk them up one at a time because she couldn't get them both at a time. And I'm just standing there. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I'm
I
paying
don't.
over $400 a night for this room. You're gonna carry my fucking bags.
Yeah, I don't blame you one bit. When it's like when it's that much money, it's like, yep, you can totally carry my bags. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's like, don't upgrade me if it's not really an upgrade. I mean,
Yeah.
so it was a garden room because it did have a balcony that looked out into a nice little garden area, but I don't go on the balcony, so it didn't do much good for me.
Yeah, you don't go in the balcony, but if somebody has a taxi sign, you'll go in their car. It's good to know. It's good to know the boundaries here.
It just looked like you need some help. I'll help you. That seems to be my thing. Oh, the more downtrodden you are, here, let me help you. I gave him a good tip too. Plus, I paid for that parking.
Oh my god.
Oh god. So yeah, the room was fine. And that's exactly what I said to the dude when I was checking out. He goes, "How was your stay?" I said it was fine. He goes, "Fine." Yes, it was fine. Um, it is a historic place, and that's great. It's beautiful. But the bed that they had in there was the most horrific bed I have ever felt in my life. So reminded me of some of those contemporary beds. You know how it seems like they're doing away with box springs and stuff like that, where they just have like a big box thing on the floor. So you're like 3 feet off the floor. And
Oh
then you
god.
have this pretty thin mattress, like you're back in jail. I was, this pretty thin mattress on this box on the floor where I feel like I'm going to fall down when I go to sit on the bed. Um, Pillows were amazing, but I felt like I was sleeping on a fucking futon, and
Oh,
not
that's
a nice
terrible.
futon, like a hard ass futon the entire time.
Yeah, but yeah, apparently with it being an historic hotel, the beds are historic as well.
Mm, it was horrible.
Yeah,
Those beds were bad.
that's not fun.
Yeah, those beds were bad. When I checked out, because there's no good interesting stories when I checked out, so I'll just tell you this one real quick. But when I checked out, they then charged me um uh, a resort fee. I think what they called it, a resort fee for each night I was there. I said, so let me ask you, what exactly is the resort fee for? And he goes, well, for like the Wi-Fi and the water. I'm like,
Whoa, wait, what?
yes. I'm like, the water. I said, why don't you guys just raise your prices?
For the why for communicating with other humans and a basic human need, water. Oh god.
Everybody has Wi-Fi now. And you know
Oh
what?
my.
I was hardly in my room. I didn't need the fucking Wi-Fi,
But
really.
yeah, but still, like fucking, they're charging. Oh my god,
And water.
California is a third world country. I swear to God, it's every other day. Gavin Newsom, that jackass, is passing new
Mm,
laws all the time. It's like I think the newest one was like he's banning Skittles or something. I'm like, oh,
mm,
that's important. That's important. There's
yeah.
homeless and joblessness and things, and there's nobody can afford to live there. Oh, but we're getting rid of Skittles.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
And
from what you're telling me, people, it's gonna be difficult for people to even travel there from, if they keep doing that stuff.
yeah.
It's
Oh my God. And then gas is so expensive there. So like the one Uber driver that we had, I gave him his tip in cash. I said, here, so they can't tax you. I'm like, good Lord, this place is ridiculous.
yeah, yeah.
Mm. But so got to the camp. So I felt great that first day. That first day I got up, I did all my makeup. Because like I said, 90% of the time, I don't even fucking shower. No, actually, I do. I make sure I shower at least every other day. So, but when I want to look good, because I know I can, for especially for my age, it takes so fucking long, man. I wear like two different kinds of eyeliner, or no, yeah, two different kinds of eyeliner, two different kinds of mascara, plus a primer, three different concealers, a foundation, maybe a little powder, blush, and then lipstick, and then of course, my hair depends on if I want to straighten it, it takes a lot longer, but if I leave it curly, then I can let that air dry. But got up, got ready, felt great. I thought, this is gonna be a great time.
Awesome.
Went to the camp. They gave us, it was like 4 days of things back to back. And I meant to grab the agenda, but it's in the other room. But there were several things in this agenda. So the first day, it was kind of an introduction. They, they would have people come talk to us. They would, let's see here if I can find a copy of the agenda. Certainly they have it in here. It's the release. We'll talk about that. Okay, so on Thursday, we started at 1. We started at 1. And then they had a dinner at 5:30. So it wasn't very long, but enough to get an introduction. This is what's expected. This is kind of an overview of what we're going to do, things like that. So after we did that, I'm trying to think if anything really important happened on Thursday, because I think everybody was just kind of getting to know each other and not knowing what was going to be going on. They did have a speaker that day. I think they didn't have Adam Carolla that day. I think he came the next day. But they did have, is it Adam's manager that came and talked to us? I think so. They did have some speakers that were very interesting. And when they sold the camp, basically what they said the camp was going to be, if anybody has seen Dave Fisher's other show, David Fishoff. He's the one that does the rock and roll fantasy camp, and you can see that on Amazon Prime. People would pay a certain dollar amount to go to the camp and basically play with rock stars, learn to sing and play music, and like live out their dream. Somebody was telling us last night that the one year they actually had the rock camp at the Playboy Mansion. So yeah. So in Adam Carolla came to him and had this idea about doing this taking this rock and roll fantasy idea and doing a comedy one. What they really should have called it was a boot camp and not a fantasy, because a lot of the people that came would have been more interested in a boot camp. So let me try to explain this a little better.
Okay.
There was at least one person there, if not others, that took that fantasy as kind of like what they were going to do with the rock and roll fantasy camp, where it was just going to be fun. I actually talked to one guy. He said that he thought we were just going to go and all pretend like we're comedians and get up on stage and things like that. And he's like, and I didn't consent at all to be in any kind of documentary. I thought this was just going to be for fun. And that's not what it ended up being. So it wasn't a fantasy camp. It was a boot camp. So what I mean by that is it was 4 very full packed days of speakers coming in and talking to us about the industry. But overall, they weren't saying a whole lot. So there were a lot of opportunities for improvement. And that's one thing they've asked us. This was the first time they did it. So they were asking us, where could they improve? Well, on Thursday, like I said, David spoke to us. And I think actually his main name might be David too. Couple other people spoke to us. We got our badges. I think most of us were kind of like, what do we do? What do we do? And just sat there and listened. We just figured a lot of that first day was introduction. And then that evening at 5:30, some of the group was going to go over to the dinner at the Hard Rock Cafe, which is actually part of the cost. You could only choose from 4 different items, though. So but it is part of the cost. If you got anything else, you pay for that out of your pocket. Or you could pay an extra $1,000 to go to this mentorship dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And this one was part of the hotel's reason too, where they really fucked up. The room that they had this dinner in, first of all, it was going to be limited to 15 people. Then a balloon to 80 people that signed up, and anybody could sign up for this VIP mentorship dinner that wanted to pay the extra. They got these industry professionals, and there were quite a few of them. There's a guy from Netflix, there were agents there were all kinds of people. And the majority of the people that were there because they want to be writers in the industry. They want to learn how to write for sitcoms.
Yeah.
Or they want to give up their day job, or they have given up their day job and they want to be comedians. That's what they want to do. And so they put us at these big round tables because there were so many of us. So they put us at these big round tables that had, I think it was like 8 seats at each table. And I thought they were going to have one mentor at each table, which I think was their thought too. But my table, of course, and somebody else's table ended up with no mentor. It was just us campers chatting with each other. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe we'll just eat mediocre food at the best. It was not.
Yeah.
The guy sitting next to me, his chicken wasn't even cooked all the way.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm very disappointed in that hotel or whoever they got the food from. That's not David's fault, but that's somebody did not do that catering very well. But they had us all at this table, but this room, it was like a big ballroom, and it was more of a room that where people would sit there and listen to a speaker, like they're at a wedding reception.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
Because even the slightest noise just echoed like crazy. And if you could imagine, there was probably 100 people in this room. Oh my God, the noise was unbelievable. You couldn't even hear the person sitting next to you. So we eat, and dessert hasn't come yet. It was, salad, entree, dessert. Dessert hasn't come yet, but the person that was coordinating, she comes over and she goes, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have everybody get up and move to the different tables where the mentors are. So instead of having the mentors move to each table, they're having the mentors sit at that table and all the campers move. So you're losing your seat. You get no dessert.
Mm-hmm.
You're losing your drink. And it's like a mad rush to try to sit next to somebody.
Yeah, yeah, moving, because like like you said, you're moving 100 people. Instead of moving 100 people, move like, I guess, 8 or 10, whatever tables they had. Like, that's a lot easier. That is so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And about halfway through, they realized that and we're like, well, we're gonna have the mentors start to move. But come on, by then it was already, it's already happening. Just give up the good fight because this is what's gonna happen. And so I got to talk to 2 people out of 10 mentors. And one of them was actually probably one of the most informative speakers there. It was David Carell's manager or whatever. He was actually the best speaker. He gave us the most information, and he's like flat out, a lot of people think that they're going to come out here and they're going to be discovered. He's like, that doesn't happen. You've got to work for it. The guy from Netflix, he was really nice, but there are probably people there that paid to be at that dinner and never got to speak to anybody.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah. So I was sitting next to the guy at Netflix. And do you remember? Let me look up the name of the show. It's on TLC.
Oh, what was the show about?
I think it's called The Little People.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was about little people, basically.
The Little People or Little Couple. Little. Let me make sure.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's literally called Little People.
Yeah. Actually, I think it
Oh,
might be
Little People, Big World is what it's called.
The Little Couple.
Okay.
Yeah, they were there.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, he wants to be a comedian,
That's great.
and she is a neonatologist.
Interesting.
Yeah, she actually knows the hospital she's at. They're looking at converting to the system I teach. So, so
Look,
although I'm not at work, I found a way to talk about work
look at you
because
making connections. Look at you.
because she is one of the physicians that they have kind of testing things out. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I mean yeah, that particular thing's great, but it sounds like that day was just kind of like, it from what you've told me so far, it sounds like they did everything on the super cheap because they want to make the maximum amount of money, and they dropped the ball hard because of that. That's what it kind of sounds like.
Well, and then that was just the first day. It kind of went downhill from there, and I don't want to dog it completely because I do think there were some good things about it. I just think there could have been more thought put into it. Let's say it that way.
Okay.
I don't think they realized how hard it was going to be to coordinate all those people. But there are some things I do have suggestions that I'm gonna give to them. But so Monday, oh, this guy didn't even show. That was the thing. They a lot of it was just kind of meeting people. And I'm gonna read this what this camp course was supposed to be. Perform stand up on stage for the famous improv, and the MC will be Adam Carolla. That we did perform stand up on the stage, and Adam Carolla was there. But it was more to critique. They had somebody else being the MC, Katie, and somebody else because they were trying to get to us so fast. And I'll talk about that in a little bit because that was actually Sunday. Sessions with renowned comedians and writers, and others will provide personalized feedback and guidance. And we got that. Writer's room. Attendees will be part of a team that writes a short sitcom episode mentored by famous TV writers. That did not happen. And what's unfortunate about this, so we had a session where we actually had writers in the room. And then the whole reason they wanted to take this workshop was because of this. And oh, I forgot that kitten was there. And they did have writers come in. They had the writer from Airplane come in, David Zucker. We had Kevin Hench there, but David Zucker was good, but it was just kind of like an interview. It was, they had somebody asking him questions. And we got to ask a few questions. Not everybody got to ask questions, but it was nice. It was nice to meet him, got a picture with him. But it wasn't a writing session. It wasn't a mentor session. But what they did do with him, which I liked, and it was kind of a last minute addition, had its good and its bad. Ahead of time, we received an email that said, hey, if you have a short 1 to 2 page script, a short script that you want David Zucker to take a look at and give feedback on, we'll pick a couple of them and we'll talk about them. And he did do that. Okay. They picked 2 out of how many?
Ooh, so
and you got to remember, you got 80 people here.
So let's say 30%. So out of 2 out of 30%, it's not really good. It should have been like 5 or 6, really.
Yep. And I think originally that was the plan, but everything, we went until like 10 in the morning till 10 or 10:30 at night. It was just like back to back and back, no breaks in between. The way that they had these speakers come in and like these sessions, they were back to back. So for us that were attending, we got no breaks except for lunch, which the one time I tried to eat at the Hard Rock, it was like a 45-minute break. And by the time you get over there and order, they're coming over saying, hey, you got to come back if you want to see this next session. It's time to come back. Okay. I said, I don't even have my food yet. And they go, well, get it to go. I'm like, I paid you guys $5,000 for this. Cater it next time. That'll be another thing I'll give feedback on. But, we just didn't want to miss anything because that was on us. We could have, and, it was free food. But, so that was good. But like you said, 2 out of how many? So I know a lot of people couldn't do that. Now, the sessions with renowned comedians and writers, Kevin Hench, like him, he did the Man Show, but he didn't really, I kind of felt bad for him. I felt like he needed some Adderall, to be honest. He seemed very nervous being up there on stage, but he's a writer. So if you're a lot of these people, they may only be comfortable on the one side. I guess the way that they sold it, that what he was going to do was, I took it more like we were going to sit down with him. Well, like right here, attendees will be part of a team that writes a short sitcom episode. I thought we were going to have breakout sessions and we would write an episode. Yeah. We did not. We listened to him rattle like 1,000 words a minute about as if he was in a writer's room. And that's exactly what it made me think of. As if he was in a writer's room trying to think of an episode. Not any. That's weird. Yeah, not any. This is how we come up with this. This is why we do it this way. All he'd say is, this is the way I was taught. This is the way I was taught. So that could have been better. We did not have this writer's room, as far as I'm concerned. But we did have they did have a few I think Tom Capinos was there, Liz Astroff, Tracy Boomer, and I think there was somebody else. They were very good. They had some people that were in the industry. Somebody from Fox was there to answer questions, and the questions people have, just kind of like, well, if I wanted to try to get my script in front of somebody from Fox, how would I go about it? And so they kind of helped. Well, first you have to have something that's good enough for a producer or something like that. You can't just walk in yourself. You have to have a manager or somebody else that says, also, this is good enough. Let's move it up the chain. So that was interesting. And I remember that very first day, Carol Leifer was there. She was good. She was there as a speaker for us, and she came back on Saturday to interview Jay Leno. But Carol Leifer, she wrote for Seinfeld, Saturday Night Live. She's a stand-up comedian. So she was really helpful. She answered a lot of questions that people have. She talked about being a woman that started out back in the day. That was what a lot of it was. A lot of it was just their stories.
Okay, that's
what they had to go through. Yeah, it was just kind of like panels. Like you go to a horror convention and you go watch a panel, and they talk about their movie, and then you ask them questions. That's exactly what this was.
I mean, like, that's
Which
once, it's fine, but that's not why you're there. Like, they should kind of like TLDR their fucking life story. Like, give it put it, like, read it out in a paragraph. Like, this is where I did, this is what I did, this is how I got there, this is where I am now, kind of thing. Like, good, and then on to helping you. Like, because you didn't come to hear somebody else's life story. You're trying to, get your own shit together and do it. But yeah, that's crazy.
Excuse me. Now there are two people that I thought were and two that I thought were awesome. Carolyn Ray.
Oh, she's great.
Oh my God. Honestly, they should do a whole class with her, like a whole weekend or a whole day with her. She gave a little bit about herself, and then she took some people from the audience that wanted to do stand-up, had them do their little bit, critique them, say, try it this way, do it this way, no, stand up here. Oh, sorry, baby. Stand up here. She was amazing, just simply amazing. Yeah, she was great. She was the other one that was on Thursday before the dinner. So it was Carolyn Ray and Carol Leifer were both on Thursday.
Gotcha.
Yep. I forgot about that. But so when Carolyn Ray pulled a few people from the audience, gave them feedback, things like that, it was great. It was great. As a matter of fact, the feedback she was giving them helped me too. Because and that's what I would have expected. That night, Thursday night, we went to, because they also set us up to be able, I also thought we were going to be all practicing open mic, and we did not. That's another thing I'll mention here. But on Thursday night, they said, okay, so is there anybody that wants to put their names in the hat? We're going to go watch a show. It was there at the Hollywood Roosevelt. They had, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 comedians. Is it Jay Moore? Moore was there. Carolyn Ray. There was like 4 comedians total. And then they were going to draw names from a hat. And people from our group that wanted to do open mic were going to be able to do it. And I did. I did not expect my name to be called. This is the place where I was paying $50 for each drink, but that included tips. So
that's yeah. I would have been nervous as hell. Nervous as hell to been like, I don't know if I want to do this right now.
yeah, well, I was fucking drunk, man. I didn't mean to be. Sorry, baby. I didn't mean to be drunk, but I didn't think I was going to be drawn because they said they were taking like 3 or 4, and I think they did 4. I think they did 3. They were going to take 3 or 4. They took 3, and then they drew Josh's name, and he didn't expect to go either. He was back there playing on his phone, and he's like, "Oh," so he went up, and then they called my name, and I think they even did more after that. But oh my God, dude. It was actually pretty good. I just wish I wasn't so drunk. To be honest, I always am just off the wall. That's probably my biggest problem with stand up is I can't think of a joke. I just talk. And she let's see, how did I start that? I talked about, of course, I haven't that was actually a good line. I haven't had sex in I haven't had sex in years. As a matter of fact, I have a cat for each year that I haven't had sex. So I have 7 cats now. I go, oh, that's a lie. I should have 10.
That's good. I like that. That's really good. That's actually really good. That's a wonderful open line.
Yep. And oh God, what else did I say? I can't remember. I like legit can't even remember.
You just did it and blacked out.
I did. I remember talking about my spreadsheets. Do you remember last time I talked about the spreadsheets changing color?
Yes.
I did. I talked about that. I tried to masturbate last week, but I couldn't even get my work off my mind because we work from these spreadsheets, and all I could imagine was, some people think about actors or beautiful people. I'm thinking of these spreadsheets turning green, and they actually got a picture of me. It looks like I'm masturbating in the picture. The one girl sent it to me because I got a really good picture of her. You because I got a really good picture when you were doing the stand up. I look at it. I said, "Oh, was that when I was masturbating?" Because that's exactly what it looks like. I'll send it to you. But yeah, it was good. It was good. I felt so good. I felt so confident. I thought it was great,
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't wait for the next day. Couldn't fucking wait. Got up Friday and got a little bit of a headache. And I'm like, all right, that's fine, because I drank too much, but I wasn't throwing up, nothing like that. I had a little bit of a headache. And I thought, well, I'll take, and just in case I get nauseous, I thought, I'll take some of this Bonine, which is generic Dramamine.
Oh, that
And
fucking picture.
it looks like I'm masturbating, doesn't it? I did
that is fucking wonderful. Oh my
Yes.
God. That should be on your dating profile.
I probably did. Who knows? At least I got some excitement while I was there.
Oh man.
But yeah, I I took this motion sickness medicine and took some Excedrin and went to the show. Well, oh my God, this group that they had talking, I can't remember who it was that morning. I dozed, man. I was dozing off. Can you believe that shit? Todd even said something to me about it. He's like, yeah, I saw you nodding off. I'm like, oh my God, I don't think it's them because it is quite interesting, but holy crap, this motion sickness medicine is just fucking getting to me, man.
Oh yeah, that stuff will, because that's how it stops you from being motion sickness. You fall asleep.
God. And that was the day, because Todd was a friend of mine, or a guy that I became friends with there at this camp. He's from Chicago, and we just kind of started hanging out. If anybody wants to follow him, it is Odd Olson. I think it's the Odd Olson comedy. Is that what I said? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think we said earlier.
Yeah. But yeah, the Todd Olson comedy.
Yeah.
For Instagram.
Yeah. TheToddolsonComedy.
Yeah.
There you go.
So he'll start posting more stuff on there on his Instagram and that, because everybody here has a dream, of course. So I'll call out just a few people. He was really nice to me because, of course, I don't fucking know anybody. So that was when we had tried to go over to the Hard Rock for lunch, and I didn't even hardly get to eat anything. And what I ate so fucking fast. That gave me heartburn. So came back because Adam Carolla was coming and his manager.
Yeah.
And so we're talking to, Adam's telling us his whole story when things started off. And people got a chance to ask some questions. And I got to ask a question. So should be in the documentary that I asked a question. And I'm like, hi, my name's Erica Dyer. I have a podcast, The Incoherent Ramblings of a Crazy Bitch.
Shameless plug the whole time. I fucking love it.
I mean, I don't think I could ever make a career with stand-up comedy, but I sure would like more followers for our podcast. My whole thing was to make contacts. That's what I went out there for. So he thought that was funny because he said something to me about it later when I went to get my picture taken. He was like, oh, yeah, the one with the podcast. I'm like, yeah, that's right. Need the name again? But I asked him, so you and I had talked about this before, had mentioned it before, turning the camera on. And I said, everybody has a podcast now. Everybody does. Everybody has a podcast. And several people there have a podcast. And I said, our 52nd episode had just been recorded. We were getting ready to record our 53rd. And we had talked about what do we need to do. Actually, I think I blamed you. I said, my producer wants me, because I always make it sound like real fancy. Like I got this producer. My producer wants me to turn the camera on. What should I do? And he said, well, things have changed over time. And he said, yeah. He goes, now to be competitive and with, all the changes that are going out and things like that, he goes, yeah, turn the camera on. So, hello. This is for you, Carolla. Yeah. I did enjoy his talk. Of course, if he has a book or something like that, or if you listen to his podcasts, you would have got a lot of that. But he was very informative, talking about, gave a great analogy about how there's so many different areas of comedy, that something that might be your passion, and he compared it to sports. Back in the day, he loved football. He wanted to play football. He focused on football, but he was a great baseball player, and he said if anybody would have told him that when he was 15 years old, if he would have focused on baseball and made that his priority, he probably could have made a career of it and went to college. But nobody did, and he enjoyed football better. So that's what he stuck with. And he never, played professional football or anything like that. So he goes, sometimes it's not where your passion is, but what are you better at? And I'm like, oh, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, I know everybody says, do what you love. What are you passionate about? But I mean, if there's other things you love too, maybe give them a shot. I don't know. And then all the different areas of comedy, because they tried to explain, I still don't know the fucking difference, but there's a difference between a comic and a comedian.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So one, and I'm still confused as to how they which is which, but one, a comic can write a joke and perform the joke or say the joke and be funny. I think a comedian, others write the jokes for them and they can say it in a comedic way. I think that's
Okay.
what it is. And I'm like, that makes sense because a lot of people, I mean, look at, it's not like a lot of the actors that are out there write their own stuff. And there's some very funny actors out there, but that doesn't mean they write their own shit. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Also what you'll find with comic is defined as having to do with comedy or having to do with comedy. Yeah, I still don't know. But um they are also always trying to perfect their skill. They said when somebody is like an actor, and they're an actor, they're it must have been comedian, and they're a comedian. Once they quit acting, that's pretty much it. You don't see them in hardly anything for like the next 30 years or whatever. And then one day they die and you're like, oh my God, I haven't seen them forever. Where a comic, because they write their own material, like up until the day they die, they are out there trying to perform.
Yeah.
And they were saying all these different places that they're in LA, that a lot of even Jay Leno, it wouldn't be unusual for them to show up at these little clubs. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do what's called drop-ins, where they will just get bored one night and like go to some small club on a Thursday, whatever. And like I mean, they'll call in and say they're coming in, but those people will not tell the audience or anything like that. So they'll just come in and take over a set for 5-10 minutes or whatever, and then
Yeah.
leave. Yeah,
Yeah. They'll come in, they'll try out new material, and they'll keep it. And those are the ones that really do it with a passion, and it will usually they'll do it forever.
yeah, yeah. Because I've heard about Chappelle doing that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and another guy I know, Andrew Schultz, does it. Like that's just how they do. They'll do drop-ins and things like that. They'll just do whatever. And they'll keep perfecting a joke and perfecting a joke until it becomes, really good. So they really, really like it kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought what he said was very interesting. I did. I thought that was interesting. Um, and then what else was Thursday? Trying to see here. Or Friday. What else was Friday? I think there was a panel, kind of interesting panel that came in. Um, and then that night we went to a comedy club. Oh my God, if anybody from this camp listens to this, they're going to know exactly who I'm talking about here. So they had some great comedians that went up, their
Yeah.
performers. I thought we were going to this comedy club because I honestly thought we were going to practice
Yeah.
performing. Still until this point, nobody, it was like they assumed everybody there was already wanted to do comedy. That it wasn't, let me teach you specifically what you need to know. There was no, here's the light, here's, you got to look here at the audience, except for Carolyn Ray. She was the only one that took the time with a few people to do that. The only one.
Oh man.
And it just ended up us going to a comedy show is all it was. And I guess that was part of the cost. It was so we didn't have to pay to get in. But by this time my head was really hurting and I really didn't get to eat lunch. I didn't eat much dinner because I was already feeling a headache. And I'm like, no, I drank last night. I won't drink. But the comedians that went up, they were mostly good except for this one chick. Hi, my name is Esther. I'm pregnant. And I hate it. Mm. That's
Oh,
how she spoke through her entire fucking act.
oh my God. That's
And it
like,
wasn't just because I said to somebody, I'm like, well, maybe it is because she's pregnant and not feeling good. But they saw her the next night too, and she does the same act.
oh, that's
Because I
just
thought,
her.
well,
Okay, so she's just doing like the very unimpressed pregnant wife who's like once again having to pop out a kid. Like that's her shtick, I guess. It's just like,
yeah, I mean, she is pregnant, but yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
And then
what are you gonna do when that ends? Then what is that lady gonna do?
yeah, well, and then in there, she was like, yeah, I was pregnant before,
Dear God.
but I lost it. They explained to us that two of my fiance's sperm tried to fertilize the same egg, and so it was his fault. Yeah, I'm like, I can't even do it
Jesus.
anymore because that I'm like,
Jesus. She is the equivalent of she's the human equivalent of watching paint dry. That's what it sounds like.
oh my God, you should have heard us the next day. We're like, how the fuck does she get paid, man? And I hate to tear her apart. Maybe she just didn't feel good because she was pregnant. But if she did the same exact thing the next day, I don't know. But hey, if she can make it, we all can. Um, I'm gonna focus on that.
There you go. There you go.
I'm gonna focus on that. But yeah, after that, I didn't feel the greatest. I really just wanted to get back to my room and go to sleep. Go to sleep. Woke up on Friday, got all ready because Friday was the day that or that was Friday. Saturday, got up, got all ready because that was the day that Jay Leno's coming, right?
Hmm.
So up until this point, all of us, it's really kind of first come, first serve for the seats. So we're all trying to get there and get to a seat. So we're all lined up trying to get in. I got a seat front and center in the beginning. Yep. And this was in the morning and Jay Leno wasn't coming till after lunch, but I got there right in the morning. And so Todd and I were sitting up in the front there and we were having these little breakout sessions. So this one I was going to be excited about because they were going to have some local comedians come in, break us apart into groups, and then you were supposed to work with your comedian mentor and they would work with you on your act and then, get a practice. Well, that was a shit show too because we only had like 15 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
So we barely got names. And I mean, she went around and asked if anybody, you know, what their kind of act was, but they didn't give them it. It was like they tried to pack a week's worth of what could have been a week's worth. They tried to pack it into 4 days.
Oh, that's
Not
terrible.
even four full days because Thursday started at 1. So really they tried to pack it into 3.5 days.
Yeah.
So we hardly had any time, but they did say, okay, well, we'll pick 2 people from each group to go up and do their act. And we're like, okay, because by this time it's Saturday. And so we had Thursday, Friday. There was maybe only 5 people out of 80, maybe 6, that ever was able to be up on stage and practice their act. And we all know we're going to be at the Hollywood Improv on Sunday. So it's like, okay, well, they picked the people, and then only one person from our group even got to go. I think some of the other groups didn't go because they were sticking to the time. If they ran out of time, they're like, oop, cut it, we're going. We got to be out of here. Because I think they only had like the Hollywood Roosevelt room until a certain time. Well, once it's that time, we're gone. Got to go.
Jeez.
So yeah. And then, so I didn't want to leave for lunch. Now, Todd did offer to get me something. And I was like, nope, I'm not going to risk giving up my seat. I'll save everybody's seats that are here, but I don't want to risk giving up my seat. And that was probably the second mistake I made, because by that point, I was feeling really shitty. Now I'm starting to feel like, oof, this might be going somewhere. I'm really getting nauseous. Wore new boots, which I should not have done, so my feet hurt. And I'm like, oh goodness, this is yeah, I'm getting a headache. But Jay Leno came. He talked about his career. He talked about starting out. Carol Leifer was the one interviewing him, so they talked about how they met, things like that. Took a lot of questions. I didn't get to ask my question, but that's okay. I asked him when I went out to go get my picture taken with him, which is a terrible picture. But a lot of people did ask questions, and this is, I hate when people fucking do this. Okay. We have a limited amount of time with this man. Okay. He slapped his name on this thing. I'm sure not because he wants to mentor 80 people. It was for the money, but every single person that asked a question, I swear to God, it was like, I used to watch you, or I just love your show, or I sent you a joke to your show. And it's like, oh my God. And then there was one guy, I can't remember who it was. They're like, okay, what's your question? He got the microphone and he started like telling a joke. And
Oh dear God.
And I'm sitting right in the front, so I can hear Carol and Jay. Carol's like, I don't know what he's doing. I think he's telling a joke. And Jay's like, I had no idea. And they're like, I can hear him because I'm right there. But I'm like, why would you fucking do this? We're not auditioning, people. We're not auditioning, and I think a lot of people felt like that's what it was. Oh, I hope my computer doesn't go dead. I can't get this charger to charge properly. But a lot of people were treating it like they were auditioning. And yeah. But it was neat. Having him there, got pictures taken with him. That was a good experience. So yeah, that was good. That was good. The pictures that we took with him were fucking horrible, though. It's like they had this big ass bright fucking light on him and me. My forehead was all goddamn shiny. I hope in the documentary they take better pictures, because that was atrocious. That was an atrocious picture.
Yes. Yeah, and once again, you'd think you're paying all this money, you think they'd get a decent photographer or something. I guess once again, I think they just got everything on the cheap so they could make a buck, and that's unfortunate, really.
Yeah. Well, my computer's at 19%, by the way. I can't get my charger to work. I'll keep trying though, but because I'm not done yet. But we did have a good time with him. But then after that, they were going back to the comedy club. There was another comedy club that we were going to check out, the Hollywood Improv. Actually, the one we were at before, the night before, was the one that Pauly Shore owns.
Okay, the Comedy Store. Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
That was the first one we went to.
Yeah, I've been there. Wonderful place.
Oh, good. Now it's charging. Okay. So I didn't go. That's how bad I felt. I'm like, I'm not going to go. And my head is throbbing at this time. I'm like, this time they gave us it was 2.5 hours till we had to be there. And I told Todd, I said, I'm just going to get something to eat. I'm going to lay down for a little bit, try to get rid of this headache. I may or may not be there. I'll let you guys know. And I thought I saw a Buffalo Wild Wings. I know I'm out in fucking LA. I could get some of the greatest street food, but I'm looking for a fucking Buffalo Wild Wings I saw when I was in an Uber or something. And I walked clear down one sidewalk to the corner and then didn't see it. So then I walked back clear down the other side, didn't see it. And my feet hurt so bad because those new boots, and I had blisters on the bottom of my feet, had a fucking headache. So then I'm like, well, I'll just get food here at the restaurant there at the hotel because they got this burger place. I got a half a Caesar salad with oh, I just realized he gave me tater tots instead of onion rings. I just now realized that. Oh God, no, I'm pissed. I didn't order tater tots. I ordered onion rings. But I ordered half a Caesar salad with chicken, grilled cheese with tomato soup, and half an order of onion rings, although I ended up with tater tots. $60.
Jesus Christ.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Once again, California.
Yep. And right there at the hotel. So I'm like,
Oh yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, you should along with your Uber and Lyft apps, you need to get Uber Eats and Grubhub and the other ones as well, so you can just order from places nearby
and have it delivered.
Have it delivered, yeah.
Because that was my thing. I didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to venture too far. My feet hurt. I could feel the throbbing. I knew that migraine was coming on. I knew it was fucking coming on. And I'm blaming myself because I skipped lunch. So I was like, all right, I'll eat. I'll go back to my room. I'll eat. I will lay down for a little bit and then I'll decide. And I texted Todd. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to make it. There's just no way. And it just hit me like a fucking wave. I'm nauseous. Didn't throw up at that time. But I was nauseous as hell. And I basically slept. And I forgot one more thing that happened that Saturday, which I do want to, they were good. Brian Moses and Jamar Neighbors were teaching us. That was the only other one. So Carolyn Ray, Brian Moses, and Jamar Neighbors, and Carol Leifer were my favorites. This Brian Moses and Jamar Neighbors were teaching us how to handle hecklers and how to do a battle, like a comedy battle.
Yeah.
A roast battle, which was kind of neat. You know, you do backhanded compliments. So there was a few that were picked from the audience, and I volunteered. I didn't originally sign up for it, but then I said, yeah, I'll do it. That had to roast each other. Yeah, so that was fun. But I did like how, you know, handling hecklers and things like that. Okay, well, if somebody yells something to you, you can't let it throw you off your game. Use it. So they had people heckle them, and then they would come back with these responses. So yeah, that was good. That was good, but it only lasted such a short period of time.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 30-40 minutes, if that.
Oh man, that should have been that should have been like half a day, or 2 or 3 hours or something.
Yeah, I'm telling you what. Carolyn Ray and this Brian Moses and Jamar Neighbors, they should have a whole day with just those people there. And then they could have another day of all panels. But yeah, I got a lot of ideas for them. Not that they'll read my ideas, but
actually what they should do is actually turn it into a convention, and you just you pay one big price like you did, and then you have the little things you do, and if you want to do the classes, you can break off and do that and stuff. They should make it just a convention like we do the horror stuff.
Yeah, I did think about that. I thought, so what they should have us do ahead of time, instead of having us all in that one room, because if you don't ever want to be a writer, what do you care about listening to all this about sitcoms and how to get your script submitted for a sitcom and things like that? That's not interesting to you. Yeah. That's a waste of your time. Like you said, have these different groups that you can go and participate in. Sign up. Say you have 4 things you can sign up for. And
Yeah.
then pick your 4. Yeah,
And
that's yeah.
yeah, and if you know, and if you're part of like, if you're part of the VIP thing like you were,
Mm-hmm.
cater some fucking decent food, man. You
Yeah.
know? Cater
And
some
definitely for the lunches, if you're only going to give us an hour for lunch and 0 breaks, you need to bring snacks and drinks, no waters. Oh, they did give us water, but no snacks. Have bananas and fruit out there.
yeah, at least have a fucking table in the back of like bottles of
Mm-hmm.
water and like snacks and shit,
We
'Cause
had little glasses where we could get water from these big um things.
yeah.
So yeah. I agree. I agree. I completely and utterly fucking agree that they should have done that because there were parts of it that didn't pertain, so people were like, okay. But they were good. So I felt like shit that night. Oh my god, I felt like shit. Got up Sunday. Of course, I get hormonal migraines, which means that my period was kicking my ass, and I don't get them very often because I keep hoping for that menopause. Is this the year? But I guess not. And I'm sicker than a dog. But this is when we're supposed to go to the Hollywood Improv. Well, let me pull up this list. So when we were signing up for the Hollywood Improv, we were told that we had 3 minutes each person. Then somewhere along the way, some people wanted 5 minutes. 3 isn't enough. Sure, that's fine. I mean, hell, I'd rather have 5 minutes, right? Well, by the time I got the sign up sheet, I'm signed up way, way at the back. The end. And it was
Yeah.
supposed to be from 1:30 to 7:30 with 2 15-minute breaks in between. Because before this, there was going to be Alonzo Bowden.
Yeah.
And Adam Carolla were going to be the ones that were critiquing this, and they were going to give feedback and things like that. Well, you got a group of, and I think almost everybody went up. So let's just say 80. You got a group of 80 people, and we'll say, yeah, I think all 80 signed up. 80 people here that are signed up for this open mic. You've given no instructions to the people that have never done open mic before. So, no, this is your stage area. Make sure you look here, here, and here. There's your light. When the light comes on, you got a minute left. If the light blinks, you're done. If we turn the mic off, stop talking. If we turn the lights off, get off the stage, because this is all shit they had to do. Because there were some people that got up, they didn't know what that meant, what that light meant. They were probably 5 or 6 people in until they finally said, by the way, that light means you're supposed to get off, your time is up. And so starting off right from the beginning, the people that were supposed to only be 5 minutes were 7 minutes, 10 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were already running over right in the beginning. Don't yell at me. We were already running over because you never gave any instructions. The other problem, some people knew what that shit meant and they ignored it.
Oh,
They were treating it like an audition. They wanted to be discovered.
Oh my God.
You could tell. They were treating it like an audition. As a matter of fact, they were speaking not like, oh, I got the whole audience. They kept focusing on Adam and the other comedian,
Jesus.
Alonzo,
Yeah.
like speaking directly to them. They were auditioning for them, is what they were doing.
This is exactly why I fucking hate LA and California. Anybody who comes out there has these like unrealistic expectations of like, I'm going to get this. Like, you always see that like the little girl from the Midwest, like in her sundress and her backpack and maybe her guitar. She's like, I'm gonna get discovered here, and then she ends up doing porn.
Yep.
That's always the fucking story.
Oh my God. So we had some that were very good, some that were very good. I loved, let me see here. Chris Lucas, I think he's in New York. Hilarious. He's getting back into stand-up comedy after a 20-year absence. Hold on.
Okay. That's
Um,
good, man. That's yeah,
yep,
because I mean, yeah, that happens to people. I know
yep,
Eddie Murphy did that too. He was at an absence and he wants to get back into it now too.
yep.
That's the way it is.
William Taylor was funny. Josh Moore, he's hilarious. He has 6 adopted kids, so he uses that in his act. But yeah, so there were some really funny people. Todd, of course, was hilarious, but some of them knew what the light was. They saw the light, they got off. Others, you could tell they didn't know what that was. And then it was the ones, I swear to God, I wanted to punch them. Like they knew the light, they saw the light. They would even say, oh, I see the light, but I want to finish this joke first. You're not auditioning. But then again, we got to remember everybody here paid at least $4,000 to be part of this.
Yeah.
Once you add hotel and everything else, we're talking more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Definitely.
how unfair is it to say, don't give them that extra few minutes?
Yeah.
Because this was, especially the one guy that had said he thought that this was just supposed to be for fun. Give him his time. He's up there. That was the very first time he ever got on stage. There were other people that they kept pulling from the audience over and over when we were over in the other rooms. You could tell there was a few people that they were focused on more than others.
Okay.
Like not everybody was treated equally. And it's like, that's fine if you want to do that, but for the documentary, but still give everybody the same equal time on stage, and they did not. But yeah, those that were like, oh yeah, I see it, I want to, let me, finish this joke. But the thing is, I don't care if you think that you're auditioning for Adam Carolla or not. He's not gonna go for that. First of all, if you have no respect for the time, all you're doing is taking time from those others that are going up after you, because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
They got about halfway through and we were so far behind. There were no breaks. And about halfway through, they said, everybody else, you only get 3 minutes and that's it. That's it.
Yes.
So they cut everybody's time. And then you got all these people that were, well, they thought they had 5 and they had a 5-minute set planned, and now you're suddenly telling them 3 minutes. And it's like, okay, well, you should have been prepared for that. But when you have us in these fucking panels from 10 a.m. Till like 5 p.m. and then a quick dinner, and then over to the comedy club where we're watching other acts until like 10:30 at night. When were we supposed to work on our act? But I had one. I actually did Sunday morning, had a 5-minute act. I was going to talk about anal is what I was going to do. So I was going to, yeah, I did. So I pulled up our old podcast from Erica's back door, and
Jesus.
I know. And I did like the whole thing. Timed it and everything. And what I did is I took the podcast and I transcribed it, and then I took out all of where we're just chit-chatting, and then just focused on the other things. And I was going to be like, well, in my teens, I had this high school boyfriend who always wanted to try it, but no, I don't think so. And then prom night, and I set them up to where it was going to be more of what you're expecting with jokes instead of, your conversational. So I had that all set. When we got to the improv to start with, though, as we're standing there, well, when I got in the Uber, I about threw up in this lady's Uber. Some of these Uber drivers spray shit in their cars, and it is just overwhelming. It was horrible.
Oh.
And I get motion sickness anyways, and I had this migraine. I was nauseous. And we got there and we're standing outside. I'm hot. I'm like, I'm going to be fucking sick. So I went in because they weren't quite ready for us to come in yet, but I went in anyways and went to the bathroom, threw up. That was the first time I threw up. Then we were all inside sitting down. And as they were going through the first act, I went and threw up again.
Oof.
Yeah. So this whole time now I'm starting to think, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't even go up. Maybe I'm like, I've done open mic. I know stand up is not my strong suit, which is part of the reason why I did this, was because I wanted to learn different tips that would help me, because it's not that I'm not funny. I know I'm a funny person.
Yeah.
But I can't really, I don't have good control over the joke. And that's what I need, is how to set up that joke, close that joke out, move to the next one, and keep it within. Carol Leifer had said you need to have like a 3-minute, a 5-minute, a 7-minute set. Know exactly where you can cut it off.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was good advice. Yeah. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I feel horrible, but I think I can do it. And even Todd could tell that I wasn't feeling good. Of course, I'm like, yeah, I get hormonal migraines. And I'm like, Erica, why are you telling this poor man that you just met like 3 days ago and you're fucking ragging? And I'm like, oh, well, he's been married.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows. I'm like, I'm about ready to die over here. I'm so fucking sick to my stomach, and I've got this migraine I cannot get rid of. And then we were told it was cut to 3 minutes. And I'm like, oh shit, if they cut this shit to 3 minutes, now I really don't know what I'm going to talk about. And then I thought, you know what? I can talk about coming into LAX, right? I can talk about coming into LAX and about my trip with the guy with the grill. And I was like, yeah, so that's what I'll do. So I'll think about it. And it was probably about 2 people before I went on. So we're talking 6 or 7 minutes before I was supposed to go on. I have to throw up again. I go to the bathroom and I'm throwing up, and I look to the right of the toilet. I'm still so furious about this. And so you got the handicap stall, and in the handicap stall to the right-hand side of the toilet, so the side by the wall, there's like this big pile of toilet paper. Like, just legit. If there was a cat there or a toddler, it was as if they took the toilet paper and were just pulling it off the thing and tearing pieces of it. And it was just in this, and I kid you not, it was like a pile like this of just toilet paper piled beside the toilet, and I'm throwing up. So I see it and I know this shit was not there. It just like is progressively getting worse in this bathroom. And I'm like, who the fuck does this? This is a comedy bar. Nobody in here is under 21 except for the one guy with us, or the 2 guys with us. And I'm like, who the fuck does this? And then I start noticing as I'm walking through, other stalls have toilet paper. Like, they go to pull the toilet paper off and a little piece falls off. So they just throw it on the floor and then they get their toilet paper. And I'm like, these people are fucking pigs. And I go up and wash my hands, and there's paper towels and laying on the counter, and like soap, like you go to the soap dispenser and the soap is all over the counter. And then they
Oh
have
my God.
women are fucking gross. And you got the just wait. Just wait, we'll talk about my set in a moment here. Then we got like paper towels that somebody had, not somebody, lots of people had pulled. And you know how a lot of people will use a paper towel to open the bathroom door and then put it in the trash can beside the door. Well, it was like they didn't even care whether it got into the trash can, because the trash can was overflowing. There's a lot of us there. So they just let it fall to the floor. So right there by the door, there's, surrounding this overflowing trash can, paper towels all over the floor. And it's like, you can't fucking push it down. You can't walk 2 feet to the other trash can to throw it away. You can't use your sleeve to open the door. And I don't know why it hit me so hard. I was livid. I was fucking livid. I cannot even wait. If they leave this in the documentary, you're going to see how livid I was, because I went back out and I was the next one up on stage. And I got up there and I said,
oh my God.
I said, before I start, we need to talk about the condition of that bathroom. I said, that women's bathroom is fucking disgusting. I said, all of these gross women that are going in there and they're throwing toilet paper on the floor and they're throwing paper towels everywhere. You're fucking animals. I said, there's no reason for that place to be like that. This is a reflection on all of us. And I said, Katie, somebody needs to go clean that bathroom. And then I go, that's actually not a bit. And now I'll begin. And people are laughing. And I'm like, no, you motherfuckers. That bathroom, somebody needs to legit clean that bathroom. Because when they go in there to clean it, they're going to know it's us. We were the only group there. They actually didn't open till 7. And we were there from 1:30 to 7.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, they fucking know it's us. And they're laughing like I said a joke. No, get in there and fucking clean the bathroom.
Oh,
I was fucking pissed, man. I was pissed. So, and I meant for my time to start when I said that is not a bit. Now I'll start. That's when I thought my time was starting. No, they started my fucking time as soon as I got on that stage. So when I said, okay, now I'll start. So let's talk about how Midwesterners are different, you know, than some of you other people, evidently. And I also, and before I said that, I said, I travel to different hotels. I said, I travel for work. I teach physicians, and we had a couple doctors that are part of this comedy group. I said, we have I travel the country teaching physicians and other clinicians how to document in their electronic medical record. I said, I may not be a doctor, but I can tell them what button to push. And that got a laugh. And I said, when I was out in New York, got some food from this hotel, and my girlfriend answered the door, and I was all confused because I was so mad, still so furious, trying not to throw up, just wanting off that stage. And I said, my girlfriend had answered the door wearing just underwear and a little shirt, barely covering anything. And the guy stuck his foot in the door because he wanted a cash tip. And I'm like, after I said it, I'm like, no, that wasn't her. That was me. I'm the one standing there in my underwear. but whatever. And I said, that wouldn't fly in Indiana because Indiana's a red state. Not that I'm a Trump supporter, but we do have guns. And I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about, Erica? Just get your fucking ass off the stage.
You were just everywhere. It's
I
everywhere.
don't even know, man. I'm like, I just need to
That
go
is that
home.
you know for sure that's making the documentary. That's fucking happening because like you were
I'm
just like so sick and frustrated from the bathroom and just not feeling it. You went on stage and you just like let everything out and you're just like, okay, I don't know what happened. I need to
I
lie
probably
down.
looked like I was having a goddamn seizure because I'm
Probably.
like yelling, and then I'm like, then yelling, and Trump. I don't even know. I swear to God, I was not going to bring up anything political, and I wasn't trying to be political. I just wanted to make it very clear: Indiana is a red state, but that doesn't mean that I
Yeah.
personally support Trump.
Well,
Yeah,
and
but I do. We do have guns, you
yeah.
know.
Well, and also like I've met people in California whenever I'm out there, and like I've always said, I'm from Atlanta, and they always give me this like
Your
what the
dirty
fuck did you
look.
say look, or like this dirty look. I'm like, and I'm like, what? They're like, oh, you're from the South. I'm like, yeah. What the fuck does that mean? It's like, I'm sorry. I'm once again, our gas is 310. We don't pay a shit ton of taxes. There's not that many homeless. Things are kind of good.
Move, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh God.
yeah.
But I did get to I said, yeah, one of the projects I had, I was supposed to be in Chicago. I said they sent me to Harvey, Illinois, and I heard somebody groan. I said, yeah, Harvey, Illinois is not Chicago. I said I should have known when I went to check into the hotel and they asked me for cash what kind of place it was going to be. I declined and gave my card anyways. So I got to my room, and carved on the outside of the door is slut in big letters. I said, now how did they know that I was coming? And they gave me the light. So that's how I ended it, which actually, it sounds like a punchline, but there really was slut written on my door. So
That's fucking wild. Jesus.
that was the one that had the bugs smashed on the
Oh
walls
God. Oh
and
my
had the
God.
cockroaches that came out from behind the
Yeah,
mirror.
you showed me. Yeah, you showed me the video of that. I was like, oh, Jesus, that's terrible. That's terrible. That's terrible.
And where I slept covered in towels, or I went to Walmart and got towels to lay on the bed. I still don't know why I stayed there. Probably the same reason why I took a ride from a stranger at LAX. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But yeah, I bombed. I practically ran off that fucking stage. Practically ran outside. Can't remember the guy that I jumped in an Uber. I literally, poor Todd was getting the Uber, and I'm like, hey, does anybody here have an Uber on the way or have a ride that they can fit somebody else? And this one guy is like, yeah, I do. And I'm like, all right. And I jump in his. Bye, Todd. Sorry. Like, oh.
You give such mixed signals. Jesus Christ.
That's why I don't date. I'm fucking psychotic, man.
Oh my
That's
God.
exactly why I don't date.
Oh my God.
I never did even get to say goodbye to him, because then they had a party right after that where everybody's like, yeah, we did it. I fucking went to bed. I got back to my room, got sick again, sat in the shower for a bit, and then laid down. And I kept telling myself, just go to the party, Erica. This is the last chance you'll have to see any of these people. And I got no pictures with nobody other than what pictures the documentary is taking. I didn't exchange any information with people. And I met some great people and some comedians that I'd really like to follow. I hope they have good things in their career. I want to keep in touch, and I'm just like, bye, everybody. Jumping in an Uber. I'm on my way.
Well, I mean, from what you said, you were like terribly, just like,
Oh God.
just horribly sick.
I could not. So I didn't eat anything on Sunday.
Oof.
Didn't eat a single thing on Sunday. Got up. Yeah, didn't eat a single thing Sunday. Got up this morning. and got ready for the airport. Yeah. I did not eat, and then when I got home, I fed my cats, indoor cats, outside cats. I guess I do kind of have 10 cats total because there were 2 cats on the back porch waiting for me and 1 on the front. So I guess I need to start looking for my 11th. I don't think
Oh
I'm
my
going to
God.
be late. Well, this January, won't that be 11 years?
I think so. I think
I
so.
think so.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad that you know that, Nick?
It's long we've been doing a podcast together for almost a year now. No, not at all. It's only I've been keeping this,
No.
generally in track of, in my fucking memory. Jeez.
What's funny is when I do finally get laid, what am I gonna laugh about then? What is it? What am I gonna talk about then? I won't have anything left to talk about. I guess how bad it is.
How bad or how good it was or whatever the whole thing was, just
Because it
yeah.
could be good. Why am I
Yeah.
always jumping to conclusions it'll be bad? That'd be so bad. I'll end up needing his teeth fixed. Living in his parents' basement.
Oh God.
Just my type.
Oh man. Yeah, Scarefest is next weekend, so that's happening.
I
That's gonna be
know.
fun.
I am so excited because I told Kathy, now this is terrible. This is really bad. I told Kathy, I said, okay, as much as this past weekend fucking sucked for me, I feel like I lost out on half of what was going on because I felt like shit. At least I know my period's out of the way. Like, hey, it might be okay at Scarefest. We'll see. But yeah, so I shouldn't get another migraine. Not like that. So, plus I drink too much, but we'll see. I only drank the one night this past weekend, so those $50 drinks, my God, that was
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, man.
I thought maybe she was scamming me. So I had somebody else ring the other drink up, and it was the same.
Yeah. Well, yeah, once again, man, LA and just the whole thing is terrible. That's just how it is. I mean, what was it this last weekend? Me and Jeff were at Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios in Orlando. And we were at like the Simpsons Flaming Moe's bar. And I think we would buy rounds of beer, and each beer was like $14 or something. It was fucking terrible.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was just like, God damn, man. I understand inflation, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
It
that
was
is
just terrible.
ridiculous.
No, it's terrible.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, just bad. And
well, at least now we'll have places that, if we needed to, we can take snacks or drinks and leave them back at our Airbnbs and
yeah, because we're not far, and it's Lexington, so I mean it's it's not that bad.
Yeah.
We got our own cars too, so it'll be fine. If we need to go get snacks from 7-Eleven or Quick Trip, wherever the hell it is, we can go.
Yes. No, we'll have a blast.
That'll be fun. It'll be fun. What is it? Yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did this last week. Like weekend. Yeah, last weekend was Halloween Horror Nights, and everything worked out, man. We had a good time.
Good.
First night we landed, we went to a food truck place that was literally next to the hotel, which was nice. We got dressed and went out. The first bar we went to was called Cocktails and Screams, and that was a mistake. It was definitely women like my age or a little older, around my age. And they were all playing music from that era, and it was all like the girly, like I want to dance, like dance music kind of stuff. And I was like, oh God, I can't be here. And everybody was dressed like fucking pirates. We didn't know.
Pirates.
Yeah, they're all dressed like fucking pirates. We didn't know. So like we're both in polos, trying to look like somewhat decent and like comfortable and walk around. So we park next to this place. We walk in, and like, first of all, like I pay for the entry. It's like $10 per person, $20, no big deal. So we walk in there, and we're just like walking to the bar, and there's a lot of women there, and just, I mean, a lot of people just there dressed as like fucking pirates. It was so fucking stupid. And we're just like, this is not us. This is definitely not us. So Jeff buys beer. We chug them and leave. And I look at my phone again. And I was like, oh, where's the next place we can go? Luckily, it's a tiki bar like up the street. Go there, have wonderful hard drinks. We're kind of drunk, and then we're like, all right, let's go to the next place. We'll go to a cigar bar, like a couple blocks down.
Mhm.
As we're going to the cigar bar, something happens, and like some guy drops his fucking bag of weed or something, and Jeff's like, hey man, like Jeff, very very like Jeff's 6'5", and he's very very large booming voice, like, hey, you dropped something, and the guy's like, oh, thanks, buddy. And so these like these two girls start like kind of walking with us as we're walking to this place. And I'm walking a little bit faster because he's trying to talk to one of them, and like I don't care. I just like I'm just too tired because I've been traveling all day, and I'm just tired. Just trying to get to smoke a cigar and go get a drink. So we finally get to this place, and she, I see him talk to her, and she leaves, and I was like, yo, what's going on? Did you get her number or something? He's like, no, she wanted me to. She asked if I believed in the Lord. I'm like, I'm sorry, you mean like Jesus? She's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, that's really interesting. He's like, yeah, let's go get drinks. I'm like, all right, it's good. So we smoke, we get drinks, get pizza, we end up at the fucking hotel again. Next day we do a diner and then go like fuck around a little bit. And one thing we didn't get while we were doing this is like, you want to get the express pass for Universal, because if you don't, like, especially for this event, like it's terrible. Like there's lines, like you'll only do two houses the entire night. It's terrible.
Mm.
We fuck around a little bit. We end up at a coffee place before we have to go to the event. So I was like, oh, let me get my Universal app set up in case I want to eat anywhere. Because once again, if you have to eat anywhere, you should order through the app and get it that way. It'll just be easier. So I look at extras. I was like, oh, maybe they offer some, maybe like I'll be like, oh, on a whim, maybe they have some some tickets for the express passes. Sure enough, they do, but they're double fucking price. I told Jeff, and I was like, should we do it? He's like, yeah, let's do it. So we've got the express passes. We
Hell
end up
yeah.
getting some like alcohol before we like travel to the parking lot. We end up drinking in the fucking parking lot like college kids. The alcohol wasn't that strong. It really wasn't. It went through us like nothing. It really was terrible. It was so terrible. Um, but we get inside and do all the houses and have a wonderful fucking time. It was great. Next Sunday we have to drive because we both flew into Tampa. We weren't doing like fucking Orlando International. Terrible airport, not doing that. We both drive back to Tampa, and we ended up doing a horror convention the last day of because it was nearby. And we end up just kind of walking around. They had cool shit there, they had fun stuff, and we end up meeting some YouTubers that are really cool. We talked to them, exchange information, and they want us to be on their channel at some point. So that was
Mhm.
fun. We bought some terrible shit. I bought three VHS tapes of horror porn. Okay,
What?
here are the names. I'll actually I'll send you the picture in a minute. Here are the names: A Wet Dream on Elm Street,
Oh God.
Evil Head, and Psycho.
Oh God. I like that one, Psycho.
Yeah. For instance, let's see. Psycho, it says Alfred Hardcock's Psycho.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's not even the real fucking director. God damn it.
Oh
But no,
God.
we had fun. It was a good time. It was a good time. Yeah,
That is awesome.
yeah. But also around that, God, I hate my family sometimes. I get this fucking message from my mom. It's like, oh, this girl likes her profile on this Indian marriage site. You need to talk to her.
Okay.
Yeah. And and my mom is the worst. I swear to God, she's the worst at communicating anything to anybody. It is fucking terrible. She's like 65 years old, still can't communicate properly with anybody. It is
Uh,
goddamn terrible. Um, even me and my brother, as old as we are, we still have to be like, tell us exactly what the fuck you want. And she's like, all right, fine. It's like 4 tries and you'll get the answer you actually need from her. It's fucking terrible. So she sends me and she sent me stuff before, and it's just been like a phone number and then like the link to the marriage site, but which I don't have the fucking login for. I refuse to have that. It's terrible.
what, you don't want it, or
I don't want it. I just because I don't give a shit. I just don't
I
give a
still
shit.
can't believe that they have a marriage site. I mean, I can believe it.
Yeah. It's so I was
But
talking
you
to
don't even want the login. That surprises me.
yeah, I just don't
You
care.
have no
Like,
idea what they're putting in there, though.
I mean, I've read my profile. They've oh my god, they've lied to holy hell about what I do and like make me look really good and everything. Oh Jesus Christ, they've lied. I think the profile I earned 6 figures or something. I'm just like I'm
You're
close, but not.
perfect in their eyes, baby. Come on.
It's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. The pictures they have on there are really bad. Like they're not really good. Um,
Well,
they're
send them new pictures and say you got to update the pictures since I've
God.
gotten
I should
shape.
I should literally get my friend to do headshots for me and
You
put them on there.
should.
I really
You
should. I
should.
really, really should.
Yeah.
Um, that'd be funny. But anyway, so she finally sends me this girl's like this I forget here. I think I have the text message. It's really far back. But usually she sends me like very little information, expects me to like extrapolate like psychically what the fuck she's thinking. It's terrible. Let's see here. Where the fuck is it? It's oh god, you're so sends me so much dumb shit. All these Pinterest links or whatever. Okay, yeah. Hi, check this profile. I checked the profile, no fucking picture, so that's a wash. Here's your number. Great. She's traveling right now. Would like to communicate Monday. Awesome, whatever.
Okay.
So, me like an ass because I have a million things that I do.
And that's Monday today, right?
Monday last week, Monday before I
Okay.
left.
Okay.
Um, so like I was like, mom sent this like I think Sunday or Saturday, whatever, and it's just like once again I have a million things to do, and I keep forgetting. I 100% keep forgetting. It's just once again it's not a high priority mentally, just not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she messages me like Thursday. It's like, oh, well, I was supposed to talk to you, this and the other. And apparently, like, she's consistently talking to my mom. She is consistently talking to her all the time,
Okay.
which I'm not a fan of. I'm,
Because your mom's
I'm,
gonna love her and you won't.
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of that. Like, that's
Yeah.
to me, that's fucking weird.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
mom will really build things up, and this girl's actually gonna meet me, and she's like, oh, you're not exactly what you're nowhere near the description she gave. I'm like, I'm fucking sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
That's why I said in your mom's eyes, you're a perfect little baby boy
Yeah. Yeah.
that she wants
So
married.
yeah. Jeez, I don't fucking get that. Anyways, so she was supposed to like communicate with me that Sunday after evening, and once I got back, I was like, I was open to talk to her because like I got back earlier in the day, I was still up and stuff, but no dice, no phone number, like no call, no nothing, no text message.
Mm-hmm.
So then that following week, I messaged her and she's like, "Oh, how about we talk, this coming Saturday because I'm busy during the week." She's like, "All right, fine. How about we do a video call?" I'm like, "I'm entirely open to that. No problem. Do not care." So we do it, and opens up the camera, and I'm like, "Oh, I know what this is." This girl is from India and has moved here recently, extremely recently, and she still got the accent, still has the mentality, still has the whole thing. And I'm trying to talk to her, trying to chat her up, and trying to like get information out of her, and she's like, very fucking boring. I was like, oh, what when you're not going to school the whole time, what do you do? She's like, oh, I just sit at home and clean and watch stuff. I'm like,
Okay.
oh, okay. Do you got any friends? Do you go to any bars, any party or things like? Oh, I don't do any of that. I'm here for school. I'm like,
Oh,
okay, okay,
should be a fun one.
all right, fun, all right, sounds good. So she's asking me very specific questions, and she clearly got them from my mom. I know what she's asking me and what answers I should give her.
Oh,
Because nobody asks those questions ever. Nobody does. So
what'd she ask?
she's asking.
If,
She's like,
if
well, no, I mean, like just stuff about like what I do. She's like, oh, you're a filmmaker. What movies have you made? I'm like, I've not been anything famous. They've all been really crappy,
mhm.
low budget movies. And she's like, oh, you're into photography. I'm just like, it's like, those things is what moms fucking talk to her about. That's really what
Uh-huh.
it is. I know exactly what it is. And this girl is like, I've met girls like her before. They're very sweet, but they're like the essence of vanilla. Like they're very fucking
Mm.
traditional and boring,
Yeah.
and it's just like
Yeah.
like
How would she feel about you enjoying horror movies and things like
or
that?
even or
And
even or even doing the like even shooting the short I shot in my fucking condo
mm,
like 2 weeks ago, where my friend and this
yeah.
girl were naked in my bed covered in blood.
Yeah.
How would that work out?
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, that's an extreme thing, but it's like, that's the things I
How would
do.
that make her feel? Would you have to stop that kind of stuff?
And I would not stop because, I have too much fun with my friends doing that shit. It's not, regardless of people being naked on set, it's just how it goes sometimes. So, I was honestly, I'm kind of glad I dodged it, a little bit earlier. But I sent a voicemail to my cousin, and like I shouldn't have, because he's kind of against me and doesn't really like see it too much either, and doesn't really care too much. He's another one who's like, oh, get married right now, do it, talk to this girl, this, that, and the other. I'm just like, fuck, dude, you're not any fucking help. But I had to talk to somebody,
Yeah.
and I actually should have just voice messaged you. Should have just voice messaged you.
You should have.
Yeah,
You should
I should
have.
have. That'll be what I do during going forward. I'll just voice message you, because I talked to her, and like once again, she like it was a video call. She was fucking boring, and I had to cut it off and make an excuse like,
Even
oh,
in a
I
video call?
yeah, and I had to cut it off and make an excuse because there were like lulls in the conversation I was trying not to have. And I
Mm,
had to cut it off and be like, oh, I got a business call with a friend of mine. I'm gonna take that, and I'll talk to you later. Because I
mm.
was like, once again, like I didn't want there to be any dead air. It was just like, I don't know what more to ask you. Like I've asked you those standard questions and tried to like pry information out of you, and you to talk about something you love. And I was like, I don't know what to fucking tell. Like, I'm not gonna ask you about school and your research project. Like, why are you still in school at 34? I don't fucking understand that.
Is she working on her master's or
Maybe
doctorate?
I don't know, but
I
I
think
don't
her
think
doctorate.
she's a doctorate or whatever, because I've looked at once again, I've read her profile a couple of times. It's like, that's
Mm,
not what it says.
mm.
But it was just like, I don't know. And so like I threw a Hail Mary today. I said, hey, I want to, and she's currently in Dayton, Ohio. I threw a Hail Mary. I was like, hey, I'm going to be in Lexington this weekend. How about Sunday we meet up?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And that was like, my message was, it was nice talking to you Saturday. That's what I sent. I'm going to be in Lexington this weekend, Lexington, Kentucky. I made sure it was like Lexington, KY, so she knew what it
Hmm.
was.
Yeah.
How about we meet up Sunday? Question mark. And then she messaged me earlier. She's like, no, I can't travel right now. It's like, okay,
Well,
all
it's
right.
not like you were asking her to go away for the weekend. It was
Yeah,
just to meet up, just
yeah,
to
yeah. And
meet.
and it's one of those things where it's like, the reason I picked that weekend is because like I'm going to be in the area, because the next weekend's Halloween and I have a Halloween party, and then the next weekend, my friend from California is coming in. So like those 2 weekends I'm
Okay.
done,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like, that's why I thought it would work. Or at least, like she would be okay for it, but I guess not. I was like, whatever. But
Well,
also, I think with her being from overseas, I don't think she has her driver's license.
oh, but she couldn't she get one? I mean, if she's
No,
here
she
on a
could. No, 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 no,
student
no, no. She
visa,
could. No,
yeah,
she could. She could get a temporary like license. But
yeah.
also, I don't think she has the money for a car either. So it's like, that's also a thing too. It's like,
Oh,
I don't know how you're getting around and doing stuff. I guess that's why she's boring. She doesn't
maybe
leave
that's
her.
why she doesn't. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
stays
Like,
there on campus. Mm,
stays around campus or nearby and does her work or something. So
mm-hmm.
yeah. So I mean, like, am I an asshole? Like, I tried.
No, I think you gave her an offer, and I'll tell you what, if she was interested, um, she'd find a way to be
Okay.
there. Get a girlfriend to, hey, let's take a day trip. I want to meet this guy.
Okay. Because like I was, once again, like I was trying to carry the conversation and be nice and ask for stuff. I really was. Because I was like, fuck it, I'll give this one a try. I really wanted to
Yep, yep,
give it my all. And I
yep.
tried. I really did. I talked to her, I did the video call.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure there was no like too many awkward lulls in the thing. I tried to keep it going and stuff. And once it got to the end and I was like full out of questions, I was like, okay, business
Yep,
call with friend, gotta go. Talk to you later.
yep,
And and then that was Saturday, and then like once again I shot my shot this morning before I went to Orange Theory. And that, and like what I dictated was pretty much exactly the message I sent. So
mm-hmm.
yeah. I've I've tried. I've tried.
Yeah, no, I think you have tried. I think you have. Um, I think the ball's in her court now. I mean, if she really wanted to meet you, you gave her an option.
Yeah.
But just doesn't sound like there's any kind of spark there, though. I mean,
Well, and it's one of those things where it's like, and also even with that is like, do I look for a spark? Is a spark even a thing? Do I like? It's a whole thing. I have to like, I mentally go through every time I talk to these girls. It's like some of them are really interesting to talk to, and like I'll keep trying to continue the conversation and stuff.
mhm,
But then sometimes they're like this, and it's just like, you're talking to a wall, and I
mhm,
can't. I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
yeah.
So, and the funny thing is, the last two of them have been scammers. So,
Oh, Jesus. Is your mom and aunt getting any better at catching them?
well, I think the site that they're using like literally requires you to like put in your license information, like send them
Oh,
pictures of your like legal government license to make sure that you're a real person.
nice.
So that's
Okay.
good. That's good. But also it's just kind of like whatever. But it's funny because like they pick the most vanilla people, I swear to God. Um it's
Because that's what they like.
yeah, it's very terrible. Like it's very just like, oh, whatever. But once again, I'll let it keep going because I do not care.
And it makes them happy, I'm sure.
Yeah, it makes them happy. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that, like, because what was it? The girl even said, "Oh, I've been talking to your mom, and she's she's this, that, and the other this week." I'm like, cool, you're talking to my mom. Like that means in fact that's more of a detriment than anything to
Yeah,
me.
because I don't understand, and maybe it's your culture, but I would want to get to know you before building a relationship with your mother, because if it goes nowhere with you and her, is she just gonna like quit talking to your mom then?
Yeah, I don't know, but that's been
Hmm.
kind of the case with the girls from India. Like they're very traditional, and they will like talk to the mom or the aunt or whoever's doing the thing a lot. And it's like, you're not marrying them, or you're not trying to start something with them.
Hmm.
It's an old way of doing things that's, I guess, kind of still because of people from that area and from that country.
Okay.
That's something they keep in there, in what they do, and it's kind of annoying.
Well, it is, because if it's somebody you don't want to be with, um, or it just doesn't work out, and they keep that relationship or they keep in contact with your family, that's awkward. What if you
Yeah,
find somebody and you bring them around and now your mom doesn't like this new woman that you love better than
that
the
is
other one?
that is a legitimate fear I've had, where if
Hmm.
I meet someone that I like genuinely like and is like want to, like, that's actually a nightmare I had of like 3 weeks ago that I woke up from
Hmm.
in a cold sweat, where I was getting married to somebody I legitimately liked. I didn't see your face because the fucking dream. I can't remember the hell she looked like, but I remember like being very like happy with her.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, my brother tells me, it's like, oh yeah, mom brought so and so with her, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And apparently, in the dream, it's like it's this girl I was talking to that I rejected because mom picked her or something like that. Like that was kind of the thing. And
Hmm.
it's like that is a legitimate thing my mom would probably do. She would invite this girl who I was talking to like probably months ago, and I'm with this other girl now,
Hmm.
and invite her to the fucking wedding. That's exactly what the fuck would happen. It's
Yep.
exactly what happened, because
Oof.
it also happened to my cousin in real life, at
Did
his
it?
wedding. Yeah.
By your
Yeah,
auntie?
no, I think because once again they were Indian, part of like one of the girls is part of our little like Indian community in
Okay.
Tennessee, and she quote unquote grew up with us, but we barely fucking talked to her.
Yeah, yeah.
um but she was at my cousin's wedding in 2019, and like she got real drunk and like kind of confessed her love for in front of everybody. That wedding was a shit show. That wedding was a goddamn shit show. It was fucking
Oh my
terrible. It was
God.
glorious, but it was a shit
I
show.
was gonna say, how amazing. I was actually thinking that. How
Actually,
amazing.
you know what? After we do after we do our Scarefest episode next week, the following week, ask me about the wedding, and I'll go into hard detail about it, and you get to hear the fucking details. I still remember it very vividly.
I'll have to make myself a note.
Yeah, very, very, very vividly. Also, he in X that he was like, I guess, banging or whatever, also showed up with her like husband or fiance to the wedding. And like, she never talked to me, and she like cornered me one day, as we were like walking by. She's like, "Hi, Nick, it's good to see you. How have you been?" I'm like, "Been good." She's like, "Oh, it's like, oh, you never come, you never come to the area where I'm at." I'm like, "Nope, don't do that. Have a good day. Sorry, see ya." It's like, I don't talk to you, lady. Don't act like we're fucking friends. It's like, damn. Like, yeah.
Speaking of friends, have you heard from that one chick?
Oh, the one getting married?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
You haven't heard from her? Okay.
No, I have not heard from her. But no, I haven't. But yeah, she's still getting married. But whatever, hey man, it is what it is. If I suddenly get a phone call that day, it's like, I'm heading your way. I'm like, I'd be really fucking surprised. But no, I think she's gonna go through with it.
Oh,
yeah, she's
well,
definitely
you
gonna
know
go through.
what? Good luck to her.
Yeah.
Good luck to her.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna go through with it. Once again, I haven't heard anything about like getting invited to the wedding or any shit like that. So
Well, no, you're her secret on the side. She don't want to invite you to the wedding. She wants to keep you away from that fiance.
I mean, I've met the guy.
Each other, and then you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've met the guy a handful of times. He's like and it's funny because her nephew lives with her, and I've asked him about her fiance, and he told me he's really fucking vanilla. Like, this guy, like, whenever, like, this guy hates going to ethnic restaurants. He hates going to Chinese food or like Mexican food or whatever. He wants like chicken nuggets and chocolate milk. That's the kind of guy he is. And he's about her age. And she, like, whenever we were going out, like, it was like Thai food, Chinese food, sushi, like we do all kinds of ethnic stuff all the time, and it'd be great. But she doesn't get that with but whatever, man, whatever, it's fine. It's okay.
Oh god.
Yeah. I just think it's hilarious. But
that is hilarious.
I'm sure the pictures are gonna get posted like that fucking Monday or that week or whatever. Something's gonna happen. It's gonna be funny. But yeah, it's weird because she's basically getting married on like Halloween day, where everybody's gonna go party. Like, it's the 20th of October. It's like that Saturday before Halloween. So there's gonna be all these parties and shit going on, and she's having her have a wedding on that day. I'm like, whatever. Whatever. Oh, God.
Now, this coming weekend, this is our Scarefest weekend. So Thursday night, Kathy and I are going to get there, check into the Airbnb. And then what time do we got to be at the bourbon thing? I think is it 5?
Let me check. I'm pretty sure Scarefest has it on there.
Yeah, I think it's 5 to 7.
Okay. Let's see. Where are the events? Let's schedule.
And as always, while we're looking this up, if anybody is coming to Scarefest and wants to meet up, buy us drinks, take a Flint's mints, email us, ericadyerpodcast@gmail.com. See if they added anything else.
Okay, here it is. Killers on the Rocks event, right? That's it. Okay.
Yep.
5 p.m. town branch.
5. Okay. Yep. 5
so
p.m.
we should be there like 4:40, 4:45, 4:30 kind of thing.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
Yep.
All right. So then all right. I'll make sure I'm at the Airbnb. Let's see if I know. Let's see. Let me check my trips. When is check-in?
We figured we'd get to ours probably around 4.
Okay, cool. All right. So
drop our luggage off and all that.
Yeah. So check-in for this is 4 as well. So that's cool. All right. That's awesome. But yeah,
I see that.
Yeah, okay. I'll definitely be there, like definitely around 4, so I can, like you said, drop bags, go to it.
Okay.
Because
we'll do the same thing.
Yeah, I'll make sure, because like I'm traveling up Wednesday to Tennessee, staying the night, and then that Thursday I'll drive out. And luckily for me, it's like 2 or 3 hours, and it's not long. So
okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I like Kentucky, man. I like Kentucky, I like Ohio. I've had a lot of good times there, so it'll be
Yeah,
fun.
it's a nice place. And this time, Kathy and I, we always hope to explore, but never do. But that's okay. We say that every time. We're going to explore. Well, that's all right. Pretty bad when the bartender from the year prior remembered who we were. Like, we've only been here once in the last year, but you remember us. Okay. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
You know what's gonna happen is you're gonna sit at the bar and a drink's gonna like slide into your hand. Like, what the fuck is this? It's like, hey, I remember you from 2 years ago. God damn it.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Oh, I'm so glad we're remembered.
Oh man, yeah, no, it should be fun. I get, yeah, Tyler, as far as I know, Tyler Labine is still gonna be there. It hasn't canceled yet, so that's
Yeah,
good.
I'm looking and it
Yeah,
doesn't
so
look like it yet.
yeah, that's good. I think
Yeah,
I think they've only had a couple of
I think
cancellations.
so. I think so.
Yeah, so let's see here at the
Oh
bottom. What
my
do we?
God. So I know Felissa doesn't listen to these podcasts, so I'll tell you this. So Kathy had t-shirts made for Felissa, me, and her. Um, you know how in the one, do you remember the character Judy?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
with the side ponytail. Yeah.
Yeah, with the side ponytail, and she was always so mean to Felissa. And one thing Felissa always says when she does like her as a jokingly, because actually Karen Fields will be there, but she always does these um, Judy's a whore whenever we're at shows. Judy's a whore. Kathy had t-shirts made. Judy's a whore. She's gonna give it to Felissa when we get
Oh
there.
my god, dude. Yeah, and that's the thing is like Felissa, like love her to death, but she gets super drunk during these conventions. Super drunk.
That's okay. I love
Yeah,
it.
she will definitely partake Saturday night and be really like smashed. I'm sure when she crawls into the VIP party, man, it's gonna be, interesting for sure. Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's right. We got the party Saturday. Oh,
that's
how
true.
exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so far two cancellations. That's it. So
Okay.
that's good. And
Yeah.
as I mean, like, yeah, it's Dennis O'Hare and then Roger L. Jackson. He's the voice of the Scream character, and then the other guy looks like American Horror Story. So yeah, whatever. Okay, no, not bad.
Amy, I don't remember this chick. Amy Parks, 28 Days Haunted. Is that like one of those haunted house things?
Um, I honestly
I
don't
don't know
know.
who that is.
It's I think it's a show or something like
Okay.
a ghost hunting show.
Oh, okay. I don't
Yeah.
watch those. Kathy does though.
God, I love them. They're like for me. They're like when women watch the Kardashians. Like I get it. Like those shows are like my Kardashians because they are fucking trash, man. They are so terrible. Especially Ghost Adventures. Oh my god, it is so bad. But it's so much fun to watch. Oh jeez, terrible shit.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
This will be good.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to um shopping there, seeing what kind of cool vendors they got. The film festival.
Brett
Uh,
Wagner. I was in a movie with him.
hanging out with you crazy ladies.
Yeah. You're gonna have fun.
So I'm down for that. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting for sure. Let's see. Oh man, the film festivals are wow, they got some stuff going on.
Dave Sheridan. I was in a movie with him too. He got
Oh
to yell
wow.
at me.
Oh god. Yeah,
They said I did really good.
that's awesome. No, I love Dave Sheridan because
He's all improv.
he's well, not just that, but I mean he melts into whatever role he does. Like you can't tell
Oh
it's
my
him.
God, doesn't he though?
It's fucking weird, man.
Holy shit, he does.
And he doesn't get enough recognition for it. He really doesn't. He
He
really
doesn't.
doesn't.
He doesn't. And I'm telling you, yeah, because I've seen him in a couple different roles recently. And this one for New Year's Eve. Oh yeah, and he changes his voice, his mannerisms, the way he walks. It's all different.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really does a good job. I mean,
Uh,
he was, like you said, underrated.
oh yeah. It looks like Phantom Fun World is playing Saturday at 7.
Okay.
It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, that should be fun.
Oh, the Green Goblin head from Maximum Overdrive.
Oh yeah, they have that there. Yeah, I remember one year they had like the official Hanna-Barbera like Scooby-Doo van as well. So they have fun things like that. But yeah, if it's the place I think it is, they have it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be massive. I mean, you've walked through it a couple times. Like it's crazy big. Like what they like how they set it up.
Yep. Yep. And Kathy and I have the drag show on Friday.
Yep. Yep.
All right. Well, I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
This kitten's making me tired.
It's just sleeping there on your shoulder.
No.
All
It
right.
missed me. That's my baby Peanut. Yeah, I decided I couldn't give it away because I told you how when he got old enough, he was gonna go to a family.
Yeah.
When I was in California, I got a text message and they were like, "So how's Peanut doing?" And I'm like, Peanut's fine. But if you ever don't want her, I'd like to keep her." They're like, okay. Because I mean, I've had the cat since it was 2 weeks old. It should be like 6.5 weeks now, maybe 7 weeks.
Okay.
So it could go. It eats food. It uses the litter box. It could go. But I'm like, no, it's my cat. I bottle fed this baby.
Oh god. Oh yeah. I know before Scarefest you had some men messaging you about being there. Has that continued or have they gone stale?
Yeah, still the same guy. Still the same guy.
Okay.
So,
All right. Wow, that's good. All right. So he's okay. So it's got some activity going.
No,
You
but I
got a
have some
chance.
other ones in here. Like,
Really?
who is this one that I archived?
Don't say any names. Don't say any names.
Oh, I can. Everything's in French.
Okay, that's interesting.
I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck this, or maybe this is, what language says ciao?
It's it's Italian.
Oh, then they're Italian. Maybe I do want them. Oh, they live in. Yeah, I don't know what the hell he's saying.
Just copy and paste into Google Translate later.
Maybe I will.
I'm sure you could do that. Or it'll even tell you what language it is. But yeah, I guess a few of them wanted to meet you or meet up with you at Scarefest. So
He has a question. I can gather that. Okay.
Is that still happening?
Yeah, but I'm just treating everybody as friends because the world is a buffet. So I can't settle.
I love it. I love it. I really do.
I'm serious.
I love it.
No, but get this. So I wonder how old this girl is. Let me see. I'm going to look up her IMDb page real quick. I know people listen to this podcast. So I'm going to look up her IMDb page real quick before I say anything. I don't want to be uncool.
Oh, right on. Is it somebody you've acted with in a movie before?
No, but not that I think she'd be bad or anything. I do. I think she would. I think she'd be good. But I'm gonna play her mother. And I'm like, I'm old enough to be your mother. I'm gonna send you the name in the chat. Yeah, because
Okay.
I was like, okay, I can, be her mother, but Jesus, I didn't expect to be, old enough for that.
Is it an upcoming project?
Yes. All right, there we go.
All right, let me see here.
Make sure I spelled that right. Yep.
And run it through the
Yeah,
old Google
yeah,
machine.
I'm supposed to be her mother. And when they first said,
That's
You know,
that's interesting. Okay. Yeah.
I'm like,
That's because I'm
I
looking at her picture and like I
I'm,
that's that doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna be her mother. Okay. Well, maybe I had her when I was 10. I don't
Yeah,
know.
maybe. I don't know.
I thought, I
She
mean,
is I mean in her current Instagram picture, she's a very thick redhead and I'm down for that. Put in a good word
oh
for me,
yeah,
please.
she's pretty.
Yeah, put
I've
in
seen movies she's been in. She's very beautiful.
put in
Um,
put in a good word for me. Give me, come on. Let's get this going. Let's get this going.
yeah, she's very beautiful and she's very from what I've seen, she's a good actress, so it's not that at all. I'm just
Oh
like
shit. Guess what she has in her link on her Instagram.
her OnlyFans.
Yep. Oh, it's free. It's free.
Oh, well, there you go.
Let's
You got
see.
somebody else to follow.
You're not wrong. Actually, yep, subscribe. Subscribe
Actually,
right now.
I will follow.
I will follow her. All right.
I shall
Yes.
follow.
Yes, I did. You may recognize me for I'm not gonna say the names. Da, 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 da. Okay. All right. Yep. Okay. Um interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess Zachary's going to be 30, so I guess I could be her mother. I didn't realize I was at that age that
But
shit.
but I don't know. That's a weird thing. That's a weird thing. I guess they're gonna really like make her look young or whatever, or try to. Because I mean, I see her in some pictures now where she looks like she's 20, and it's like okay, that might work, but I don't know. It's weird. They're probably going to make her look younger and you look like slightly older, and they're gonna just kind of play with that. That's what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
yeah.
You know, man, she's cute. She's very cute.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
It looks like she's married though.
God damn it.
Yeah, on her she is married to this guy in her IMDb page.
Ah,
Looks like
darn.
since 2011.
Ah, darn. Oh well. Maybe she's poly or something. I can always hope for that. That's usually
Yeah,
how these.
maybe it's a bad marriage.
Maybe it's a bad marriage.
You never.
Oh God,
Let's hope for the best.
yeah, I'm an asshole. That's what it boils down to. I'm an asshole. That's what it boils down to.
Oh God.
Oh
But yeah,
jeez.
I'm like, God damn it, am I at that age?
You're
I now play but at least I'm not the great grandmother. So I guess
that's true.
or the grandmother, I should,
Yeah,
because there's those too. I guess
yeah,
I'll just be happy.
yeah. You're a MILF. You're not a GILF yet, so it's fine. It's fine.
Oh God. Oh, I guess. I guess that's what I'll have to stick with.
Yeah, yeah. But I think that's it. I think that's it.
All right. Very good. If anybody's going to head out to Scarefest, let us know. Again, to plug myself, ericadyerpodcast@gmail.com.